Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. We're back again with more Sifu. Now, I mentioned before in my last video that I suck at this game, and that remains the same. So, if you are coming to this video hoping to see the very best fighting that Sifu has to offer, this is definitely not for you. I finally was able to finish level 1 while not going over the age of 25. From my understanding, 25 is kind of the magic number. As long as you are able to finish this level around that age, you should have enough deaths left that you could actually finish the game. And it took me a while, but I finally accomplished that. So I figured I might as well make a video about that run and then also talk about some of the things that I did in order to overcome the level that may or may not help some of you that are also having difficulties. So you noticed before I picked up this pipe, before I engage with these 3 enemies. I highly recommend that. I think it makes this battle significantly easier. And then you'll also notice that once I defeated the guy that was in the alleyway, when I ran up to these 2 guys with the weapon, I started with the one on the left. And that's because he's in that kitty corner, and hitting him up against the wall makes it significantly easier to be able to defeat him easily. Also, once I finish with those 4 guys, usually my crane, or crowbar rather, is broken. So I make sure to pick up one of their bats before I move on to the next sequence. When I'm doing those statue upgrades, I'm choosing to upgrade focus for the most part, because those focus moves, at least from what I've seen so far, are unblockable even against bosses. So it's really, really useful to be able to throw one of them out there whenever you like. I like using the sweep a lot, but because I haven't built up more focus, it's hard to get the 2 bars necessary in order to be able to do that. But even if you only have the eye strike, it's just a really great way to interrupt nasty things that bosses or the mid-tier bosses attempt to do. This sequence is just super tough for me no matter what. Surrounded by enemies, many of them picking up weapons, very, very aggressive. They love to gang up on you, so I feel like I almost take at least 1 death here. This time I was running all the way around, trying desperately to find a weapon, failing to do so, and finally I just accept, all right, I'm gonna have to take these guys straight up, and then I die shortly afterwards. It just is what it is. So that brought me up to 21. I get back up and I see, oh great, there's like 6 or 7 guys still here that I have to deal with. But luckily, I forgot, I guess, there are kind of crates here that when broken will drop a stick that you're actually able to pick up. So because one of them got pushed up against it, that created another weapon that I was then able to use. I love weapons in the game, and just instinctively I feel much more powerful when I have one and I'm able to use them. Even though, even without a weapon, you're still very, very competent in a fight. I think it's kind of just a mental thing for me. But so far, I've also feel like defensively, it's much better to block than it is to dodge. Like dodging, it makes you feel more safe because you can dodge way out of the range. And of course, I took yet another death. You can dodge way out of the range of the enemy's attacks. But if you can actually master just standing in the midst of it and blocking and then parrying their attacks, the window of time you have in order to be able to parry is actually much cleaner to deal with than if you're trying to dodge an attack. I'm just not very good at it. So I make do with what I have. As you can see, I'm almost just about finished with this fight after taking an additional, what, 3 deaths? Oh no, it was 2, and then it increased that death counter, so I took 2 deaths overall. But finally, I'm finished with it. This next sequence, I'm gonna pick up the crowbar here because I assume that it's fresh. super easy. Every single time you should just be running up to the big guy, taking him out immediately, and then the other two aren't a particularly big deal either. So not much to worry about on this side. Even if you're like me and not all that great at the game. Picked up a fresh weapon again. And then from there, it is off to the boss. Now, I did already go through this entire level before, and that's why I had the shortcut keys. Again, I'm going to pick up focus because I just want as much focus as possible. At some point, I might switch over and get more weapon durability because, again, I absolutely love the weapons. So I used that, the key to get into the alleyway where we started the game. So you won't be able to do that your very first time, but the key is relatively easy to get. And I feel like definitely for the final save you want to do on the level before you're going to move on, you want it to be a playthrough where you actually use the key, because that means you faced as few enemies as possible and you give yourself the best chance to start the next level at the lowest age possible as well. Now this boss, I see video after video after video saying, oh, this guy's cake, he's easy, and they keep on making him look easy, but I can't help but to die. I just do not have a choice. So luckily you can start with the weapon, so that helps you do some additional damage against him in this section. And you'll see one-on-one, I'd at least do a little bit better job of blocking, not much, but I'm able to parry some of his attacks, but he's just absolutely brutal for me. So hopefully you're starting him with a low enough age where you can, it's really helpful if you're able to do that sweep and then you hold down B on the Xbox controller, and that'll allow you to do the ground attack where you're actually punching him in the head. Very nice damage, very useful. But yeah, you want to have a little padding for yourself where even if you do die once or maybe twice, you're still going to end this level only at age 25, which I believe I did for this particular one. So of course I just took a death right there, but I'm getting better and better at parrying him the more I end up having to do this fight. That last kick he does, it's not consistent when he does it, and so sometimes he just catches me with it. It is what it is. But we finally overcome him here. Bap. A little scene will play, and then you always know when it's about to be a problem when a guy pulls a hatchet out. So the bamboo sticks go up, the hatchet comes out, and now you have to do the absolute real fight. Again, for the most part, I find that trying to block and parry is better than just flat out dodging. Dodging might make you feel safer, but at the end of the day, I get caught with that a couple of times, and I feel like I pressed the dodging button or the blocking button in time to be able to stop that. For whatever reason, I missed that stick that was right over there, but whatever. But it still allows him to catch me and do that downward strike with the hatchet. Super annoying. But there we go. And then he'll do that spinning kick. All of that stuff is blockable and avoidable though. So as long as you're patient, this is definitely not a button mashing game. So you don't want to just press block over and over again. But as long as you're patient and actually look for the strikes and then press the button accordingly, it's not crazy difficult to be able to block him. What's difficult is to remember all the combos he does and not allow yourself to be caught with that kick right there, which he doesn't always do. And it's hard to know when it's a situation where he's decided that he's going to do it. But as you see this time, I figured out how to at least make sure that thing didn't do damage. I've seen other videos where they're flat out able to go to the side when he does that. I never really mastered that trick, but it didn't hurt me too badly. He's still taking damage. Now, you have to make a decision about if you're going to kill these bosses or if you're going to allow them to, if you're basically going to spare them. I'm doing a run through where I'm sparing them because I want to see what that ending looks like. And so consequently, that's harder. As you already can see, I could have just executed him straight up right there. But since I want to spare him, I really have to whittle his health just about all the way down in order to get to the point where the game will give me that option. And there, now we have the spare option. And finally, I can really move on to level 2. So I've only played level 2 in any way, shape, form, or fashion once. I've never faced the boss at level 2. So really looking forward to going through that. But even though I absolutely suck at this game, I'm finding it very addictive, really enjoying going through it. So hope all of you enjoyed this content. I definitely plan to do a part 2 if somehow I can make it through the club. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a like down below, share this content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.